Hello Stampers, this is Therese from Therese's Stamping Addiction, and I am back to show you one more layout from the Sunniest Stories Scrapbooking Workshop Kit by Stampin' Up. Today I'm going to be doing the layout number 2, and I am pre-recording this because on Thursday, when I normally do my live, I will actually be at the Kentucky State Fair. So I decided that I would just record rather than skip my live, and I hope you like this. I'm going to show you some adaptation because I have a few more photos than what the example shows to put on some of these pages. So we will be doing the 2-page layout, and according to the layout, it is showing that the solid green goes on the top of the page on both sides. So I'm going to turn the pages here, and I'm going to move this one aside until we get to the second layout. So the first one, I'm going to work backwards, and I'm going to do the bottom one. And you are going to pull out 3 of the 4x6 cards that have some designs, and I could not find one that shows the solid blue, excuse me, as in the example. So I probably have used it on another layout, but that's all right because I found another piece that coordinates just perfectly with this. And so we're going to go with adapt and go with that. So the first thing we're going to do is adhere down these 4x6 panels. They're solid white on the back side. So I'm going to use some of my trusty Tombow glue here. Using this, I know that my layout is going to stay down for many years to come because Tombow glue really holds, is very strong. And since on the layout it shows this one in the center, but because I have the striped, I think it'd be much more cohesive to pull the colors together if I put this in the center. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, and I'm sure that you'll change your layout a little bit too when you do yours. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one over here. And this one in the center. And we drop this one down just a little bit. And I'm going to add a flower up here. But I think I'm going to wait and hold off and do that after I get my photos on there. My photos, once again, are from the trip that I took to Kentucky Down Under with my grandkids summer before last. And besides the kangaroos, there are all kinds of wildlife. And on that day, they had fun being able to hold the box turtles. So I'm going to lay this out, and my stamp and seal is on the other side of the craft room. So I'll be right back as I go grab that. I hope this video will inspire you to get some of your old photos out and get them scrapped. Even if you do not use this particular kit, I hope it helps you get excited about scrapbooking again, so that you would go ahead and pull your things out of your stash and start to scrap. I'm looking forward to this weekend because I'm going to a weekend crop in Santa Claus, Indiana. So I plan to get a lot of layouts done this weekend. Okay. All right. Let me get some Tombow on here and get these photos put out here. This is my grandson Harper, and the other picture is of my granddaughter Vivian. She is an animal lover, so she was especially excited to go on this trip. So let's add a little flower up here. And down here, I am going to add a little journaling piece. And I will go back later, and I'm going to add the top 5 things about Kentucky Down Under. I think my number 1 thing is going to be riding in the golf cart, because this place is set up over probably several hundred acres, but we didn't have to walk through it. But it was probably laid out to be about through 50 acres. So there would be a lot of walking that we would have to do when we were there. So let's see here. When you do this workshop, you'll have a lot of extra pieces. So don't be shy about using your extra pieces. I'm going to add this little tab right above here. That'll pull in the green that's right there. I think Harper's shirt's a perfect complement to the blues in this designer paper that will go on there. The layout actually shows using books, and books just does not match. It just doesn't work with the photos that I'm using. So right now, I will probably go back and add a few little gems, a few little extra things that didn't come with this kit, just because I think it just needs something else. But for now, we've got 1 page completely finished in no time. Didn't take us any time at all. So let's set this aside and move over to the second one. And the second one shows us using this green panel over here, and then lining up photos here and here, and then it's showing using this book with the number 5 but I am not going to go with the books, because like I said before, the books don't go with the theme of these pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and just line this up and find the pieces. I will use something different. I found this over here that says happy, and I think I'm going to cut this down and use this. This comes with the kit, and I will list the 5 things that made us happy that day. Let me trim this a little bit, just a little bit better. Let's lay this out here. I have more pictures with the kids standing by the sculptures, the wood sculptures out of trees. So we'll just move this over. I want things to line up to my pictures. And that's the great thing about scrapbooking. You can line things up to make how it works for you. The kits, they're great if you want to follow them to the T, but you can also just use them as a jumping off point. So it's showing the best chapter, and I don't know if I want to use the word chapter. I wonder if I have any. Earlier, in one of the earlier videos, it did say, maybe we will use best chapter. because I can put the best chapter of this summer. Reasons why happy. Well, I'm going to use that. And let's see, is there anything else that I would probably need here? I believe I'm going to use the flower over here. So let's get started getting things set down. So let's add some Tombow glue to this 4x6 green panel. Like I said before, green glue by Tombow is great if you live in a high humidity area. It's great for anything, but it really is wonderful for our part of the country. I always think of the South as very humid, and I know that it is very humid, but when my brother who lives in Florida, I was talking to him, and the humidity here was way higher than the humidity down in Florida. So I was kind of surprised about that. So now I know why I'm always sweating to death the second I open the door in the summer time here. So let's go. Reasons why happy. Yeah, you won't have to worry about this curling up in the humidity. Let's center this right under there. And then we're going to add the photos. I'm going to line this up right underneath this. Okay. Stamp and seal. It's wonderful for your photos. It will hold them down. It's a very strong adhesive for a tape runner. It really does a wonderful job holding everything down. Okay. And it does give you a little bit of forgiveness if you lay something down in the wrong spot. So if you don't wait too long, you're able to, you can peel it back up and fix your mistake. So here we go. My granddaughter acting silly there, all scrunched up like a bullfrog. And let's go ahead and add this, the best chapter. Let's see, I don't know how long you have been scrapbooking, but I probably started scrapbooking a little more than 20 years ago when I wanted to make a scrapbook for my daughter's wedding and a trip to Mexico that I did. And that's when I decided I'd give scrapbooking a try. I wasn't going to do it forever, but it grabbed me. And I ended up loving scrapbooking. And here I am 20 years later, still scrapbooking. Let's see. I want to use this yellow flower somewhere. I could put it up here in between these photos. That could work. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use some dimensionals with this. I want it to be popped up a little bit. I love Stampin' Up's dimensionals. They really make some of the elements of your cards or your scrapbooking really pop when you use them. And they are very inexpensive. And why I like dimensionals versus the type of, they call them pop dots, that you can get at other craft stores is that it's not quite as high. They are very thin, so it doesn't add as much height to it as some of the other ones do, which is very, yeah, I'm just going to stick to it right here. So there we go. We have a 2-page layout. It's right here. And all I need to complete is the journaling. And I have a very nice, I think this one needs something else. So let me go ahead and add creating memories up here. I like that. So let's just finish up with that. Here we go. All right. There we go. 2-page layout, all completed. And it took maybe 20 minutes tops. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.